guys, and welcome back. Now I'm going to jump right into it with this video. If you are a black woman who has had any interaction with black males who consider themselves to be a part of the MGTOW movement, you have heard one particular name, one particular word constantly being thrown out regardless of who it is they're speaking to. As long as you are a black woman, you are called this name. And this name is Bedwench. Now, in particular, the way that they are using this term is they are using it in most cases to say that, it's a black woman who is sleeping with a white man, right? But when they use this term, they don't care whether or not you're sleeping with a white man. They're just looking at black women and saying, oh, well, you side with white men with this or that. You're being used by them, yada, yada, yada. So they refer to you as a bedwench. Also, even though you're not sleeping with a white man. Right? That's the way that they approach the term, is that every black woman is a bedwench because in their view, black women have sided with white men and white women. So when I'm looking at the black males involved in the MGTOW movement, the question that comes up when I look at them and I look at how they're presenting themselves, and the question that comes up is, who is really the bedwench? Because in many instances, when you receive comments from these men, the first thing you notice is that many of them have avatars that are of white men. Even though they're black men, and they will tell you freely that they're black men, but they have avatars of white men, right? That's one. Two, even though they have seen instances of white men within the MGTOW movement being racist or using certain stereotypes to address and view black men, they still kind of want to align themselves with those white men. They still refer to them as brothers. I have seen videos by white MGTOW who have been discussing black men, and you will see black men in the comment section saying, oh man, you stereotyping us, that's a stereotype, that's racist, yada yada, but they're still aligned with these white men in that movement. As a matter of fact, many of the black MGTOW will be the first to tell you that the MGTOW movement is not about race. And I will say I agree with that. The movement itself, the idea that men are frustrated with how they have been treated by society, and they want to kind of go their own way in order to save themselves, in order to have peace in their lives, that has nothing to do with race. But here is the catch to that. We live in a society to where there are certain racial dynamics that were already in play. So just because you have a movement to spring up out of that society, that doesn't mean that that overrides those racial dynamics that are already there. You also have a situation where you have white MGTOW who want to have this be a movement of all men, of all races and colors and creeds, but they do not, and they refuse to address the racial dynamics that are taking place many times at the hands of white men. And you see many of the black men who are involved in this MGTOW movement who do not and will not address these issues or push for those white MGTOW to put their money where their mouth is, to actually show and prove that they actually consider the black brethren to be just as much as their brothers as their fellow white MGTOW. And now you don't have to take my word for it, because I don't want you to think that this black woman is coming in to try to cause division. All you have to do is do a search, and you will see that there are black men who have started their own movements that are geared specifically just for black men because of the racism that they have seen and experienced amongst the white MGTOW movement, or the white MGTOW component. So what they're trying to do is create another movement or another group that is geared specifically for black men in order to avoid the racism that exists in the larger MGTOW movement. So please don't come here saying that I'm trying to create division. I'm not. I am looking at what is happening and I'm commenting on that. So don't take my word for it. Just do a search. So going back to what I said initially, in that the term bedwench traditionally is meant to be, a black woman who is sleeping with a white man, right? But you have these black MGTOW and other black males who are using it to represent any black woman, because they feel, their emotions tell them, that all black women are siding with racist white men against black men. So if black men are siding with racist white men against black women and other black men, then is that not also a bedwench? I mean, it's a male bedwench, but it's still a bedwench. It still fits the definition that these men are trying to apply to black women. So that's my question. Who is really the bedwench? Because many of the black women who are accused of being bedwenches don't side with racist white people, but they still get that term thrown at them because they are a black woman. Well, if you have black men who are siding with racist white men, is that not a bedwench? My position is that it is. It fits the men's criteria for what a bedwench is. So you guys, I just wanted to do this quick video because I had been thinking about that. I had been looking at the comments. I had been looking at who had been leaving the comments and how they present themselves, in that you see this avatar of a white man and then you find out it's a black man, and you see them calling black women bedwenches and all these nasty, filthy names. But you see them over there with not only trying to portray themselves as white men, but looking or aligning themselves with racist white men. And I may do a part 2 to this. It just depends on if I have something more to say on this topic. But I'm going to end this here. You guys let me know what you think. What do you think about that particular position, that, if you're going to use that criteria towards the black women, then you should also be subject to that same criteria. Alright you guys, I'm going to end this here. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I will be so happy to have you. You guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.